Good morning, Vietnam. Okay, I don't know if there's actually anyone watching from Vietnam, but if there is, I totally blew their mind. Plus, it's a good movie, so it's nice to reference every once in a while. So, I don't know, there's just, since I woke up this morning, or not long after I woke up, like I could sense there was something different about me. I just couldn't quite figure out what it was. And even now that I'm thinking of it, like I can't quite put my finger on it. I don't know. Just let me know in the comments if you can figure it out. Okay, I'm kidding. Obviously, what changed is I shaved, but the reason why I shaved is probably not the reason you would expect. It, the logical reason is because I haven't shaved or trimmed it in the last 3 weeks ever since I got the radiotherapy treatments and I got an increase in symptoms, and I'm just like, I don't have the energy to even consider doing that. I even went like an entire week, like literally an entire week without showering. Like that's how little energy I had. So beard was not a priority. I'm like, I don't care what I look like. It's just not something I need to worry about. However, with everything that's been going on and the fact that for the last 4 days I've been throwing up an average of once or twice per day, kind of convinced me to shave the beard. And the reason why is because whenever I throw up, the puke just gets stuck in the mustache. And first of all, it's really disgusting. And second of all, it's not fun to clean up. So the reason why I shaved is simply for practical reasons. And honestly, I don't really like the fact that I shaved to make throwing up easier. But at this point, it's just happened so often that I'm like, yeah, okay, it's better to just do it than not do it. Because I'm like, oh, I don't want to like subconsciously encourage myself to throw up. I'm like, nah, it's gross. I don't want to have to deal with that anymore. Speaking of gross things, well, it's not actually gross, but the concept that I came up with in the video when I spoke about it yesterday, the pterodactyl pea, I was like, in case you were curious, this is what it looks like. There's obviously different colors. So far, I've tried the blue and the red, so I'm assuming different species of pterodactyl. That's why different colored peas. That's my assumption. No, so as you can probably tell, this video is just going to be a bunch of random little facts because there's no like one specific story that I need to share or one specific event that happened that is worth sharing in an entire 10-minute long video. So I'm just going to share like snippets and stuff that I haven't really taken the time to share thus far. Let's start with some good news. Yesterday, for a brief period, and I don't know if it's minutes or hours because I fell asleep and I don't know how long it was before I woke up, but at some point during the night, I was able to sleep in my normal sleeping position and it felt amazing. Obviously, it didn't last long. Obviously, I had breathing issues when I woke up and I had to cough for a while and then I had to change positions. But there was a brief period where I was able to be in a normal sleeping position. And just the fact that I was able to do that, even if just briefly, is a very, very good sign because it means things are slowly getting better. And that's kind of the theme of the last 3 weeks, I guess. Like from day to day, there are rarely major differences that make me realize, like, oh, okay, things are getting better. It's very obvious when things are bad for a day because you feel like crap. But when things are getting better, it seems to happen very, very incrementally. And as a result of that, from day to day, it's hard to notice. It's like, I think, okay, is today better than yesterday? How do I feel compared to yesterday? And I'm like, maybe a little better, but it's such a small difference that it doesn't really feel like much. It's only when I take a longer period. So if I think, let's say, like, all right, how I was doing a week ago as opposed to now, that's when I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, there's definitely been a marked improvement in the last week. So it's kind of like tricky to figure out how I'm feeling, but I'm definitely heading in the right direction. Still not back to normal, still still coughing, still throwing up, still, you know, all those amazing things. At this point, I've lost count of all the things, but yeah, that's all still going on. It's just slowly, progressively getting better. Next random thing. I'm gonna be a grandpa. I just saw that the other day. I'm like, oh wow, that's really cool. I just got it like a couple weeks ago and already it's making a baby. So that's nice. Okay. Something else that I've been meaning to discuss, but it was just such a small thing that I never really took the time to do it, is I don't know if you'll be able to see it on camera, but here and other places in my body that would not necessarily be appropriate to show. Well, it's not inappropriate to show it, but it's just difficult because it's like on my arms and shoulders and other parts of my body. But I've noticed over the last few months that I've been growing more hair in places that I did not used to. I'm assuming it's a side effect of the Decadron that I've been taking to reduce the swelling in my head because it is a steroid, and I'm pretty sure, I don't know, I've never taken steroids aside from that, so I don't know all the side effects, and just for that one version of the steroids, there's like over 100 side effects, I think. So I don't know if it's a side effect, I just feel like it's something I've heard before, like, oh yeah, taking steroids makes you hairier. So I'm assuming it's a result of that. Given the grand scheme of things, not really a big deal. Never really been that hairy to begin with, so a little more really won't change that much. It's just sometimes strange to be like, well, there you didn't used to be hair there. This is different. So yeah, not necessarily a bad thing, just something that I've noticed. So next thing, tomorrow I have my tri-weekly meeting, and by that I mean every 3 weeks, not 3 times per week, meeting with my oncologist. And then on Monday, so meeting with the doctors on Thursday, and then Monday is my next treatment. So yeah, meeting with him on Thursday. Not really sure what we're going to discuss, probably all the symptoms I've been having recently that I already told to my nurse, but it's probably best to go over it with the doctor and everything, and kind of like the three of us just discuss what we think the best option is. And at this point, I'm toying with the idea of going to the emergency room. Not because I feel that bad, and yes, things are getting better, and I'm not throwing up that much. It's just like, I can't really keep food down at this point. All I can keep down is what I eat in the morning, so basically my breakfast, which is usually fruits of some sort and the pterodactyl pea. And then after that, like lunch, sometimes I can keep it down, sometimes it comes back out. And sometimes by dinner, I just feel nauseous, and it's like, I know there's no point in eating because it's just going to come back out. And I'm like, I'm not going to put myself through the pain of having to force myself to eat only for it to come back out and go through that entire process. So I've definitely not been eating as much as I should, and forcing myself simply is not an option. So I'm wondering, like, maybe just from that perspective, it would make sense for me to go to the ER, even though it's gonna suck. But being on IV for a couple of days might be a good thing. So I'll see how today goes, and that'll kind of be the judge. If I end up going, unless today's like a really, really bad day, I'm probably just gonna pack a bunch of stuff, all I would need if I stayed in the hospital when I go to my meeting tomorrow. And then kind of talk with my doctor and my nurse and be like, hey, here's the situation. What do you think? Do you think it would be good for me to be in the hospital for a couple of days, be on IV, kind of replenish all my fluids, get my energy back and everything? Because at this point, this is definitely not sustainable. So not quite sure yet exactly what I'm going to do on that front, but yeah, I'm starting to toy with the idea, and we'll see what happens tomorrow. So for now, that's not official news. Just wanted to put it out there because it's something I've been thinking about lately. So we'll see tomorrow. Maybe my next video will be recorded in the hospital. I don't know. Anyway, either way, even if I do go to the hospital, it's not like things are horrible, things suck, I had a relapse and I'm like there like by force. It's like, no, it's like if that's the best option, that's what I'm going to do. I'm still slowly getting better. It's just for that one aspect, the food, the hunger, the energy that I need to put in my body, that's an issue. So if that's the only way, that's how we'll handle it. So yeah, we'll see how things goes. Cheers, and we'll talk to you tomorrow, hopefully. Unless things are really, really bad, in which case it'll probably be the day after. But let's be positive. We'll talk tomorrow.